right? I hope so. Let's, hey, can we? Thank you. Small candy store on a street corner. JJK chapter 269, Reflection. A Big Wins Ultra Sauce flavor. What's your price? Gege Akutami. Oh, my. And that person, I don't know their name. This is my. This is the first time drawing an ending of something, even though we're in the final chapters. This still feels so fresh. Maki, you bastard. Oh shit. I thought his body was dead. Don't you start thinking everything is all sunshine and rainbows just because you're back in your body. Maki-san, what's up making me? How you feeling? A little foggy. Is this what happens after Unlimited Void? I got off lightly if that's it. If that's it. Oh, Tiny Panda. Hey, Panda. They're gonna do so much talking to explain how Yuji's back in his body. I like to properly apologize to everyone. That can wait. You're nothing to apologize for anyway. I wanted to apologize. Oh, making me got some cool scars now. This is all cause Gojo refused to kill Itadori from the get-go. Itadori was just a victim of Kenjaku playing Jujutsu terrorists. I was firmly in the pro execution camp. You have Yaga-san to thank for me being here. But I don't particularly think either side was wrong. Everyone had their truth, and those truths led here. You kids shouldn't feel the least bit guilty. You're all careless brats. Feel free to act. Us grown-ups are to blame. How are you able to get back over to your body, Yuta? Thanks to Rika-chan. I thought her not coming with me to Gojo Sensei's body meant our connection was severed. In reality, after Yari-san treated me, Rika was using reverse curse technique to consistently maintain my body. Still, I was convinced I was a goner once Kenjaku's technique burnt out in the domain. I mean, I guess that's a reasonable explanation. So how does he use Kenjaku? I guess he just had to wait for the technique to refresh. Like, how did he use Kenjaku's technique again to get back into his body? You consider it a slight miscalculation. Kenjaku was living proof that it can operate after opening a domain. What's it? Technique, I guess. He was likely separating multiple techniques intentionally via some kind of method. If I had to guess, I'd say barrier techniques. Obviously, someone who used a technique for millennia would be more prepared than someone using a fresh copy. After the technique was recovered, I was in a state of suspended animation, but once I reconnected with my external storage of techniques, my apologies. After I reconnected with my external storage of techniques, Rika-chan, we eventually got here. I'm really sorry to have worried you all. Who cares about that? Even if Yuta had taken things more seriously, we would have won a hell of a lot easier. That's the problem. If Yuta had taken things a lot more seriously. First, I should have led the surprise attack on Kenjaku. Then there's Higuruma's executioner sword plan. If we use Toge's remote curse speech, we could end things in a flash. Higuruma should have had the recorder tape on him. Curse speech cannot be activated more than once simultaneously until the recording is played. Technique is considered in use. As such, only one tape recorder is allowed. Did he say all of that, or is that just his face there so they know that he told them that? That's a lot more than Salmon. You're wrong, Maki. You aren't a viable target for my boogie woogie. It's hard to say that if Yuta would have succeeded without my help. Not to mention, Okotsuki and Rika's power were necessary to stop the rampaging cursed spirits. The Kenjaku fans are gonna love that one. I think he could have. I didn't see anything that impressive from Kenjaku, but Kenjaku fans are gonna eat that one up. Plus, Toge's cursed speech only worked because the timing that made the reaction survivable. If it were used when Sukuna was feeling fine and dandy, Toge would have been killed by the feedback. Solomon Rowe. Sukuna was just playing around. He was capable of killing me whenever he wanted. If someone like Yuta were there, he would have done so. Oh, shit. This is the first time they showed him? Yeah. He's alive. Higuruma is alive. So, Choso the only body? Well, Choso, Gojo. Yeah, Miguel survived. Miguel's friend survived. So yeah, I think it was just Choso. I'm the one who decided it's best to use inside Yuta's domain with no one else around to interfere. With no violence allowed inside my domain, that would have been impossible. Still, it's pretty scary how a guy that's only been a sorcerer for 2 months is alive and kicking after all of that. It wasn't intentional. ... Regardless, if the backup from abroad had been here from the start, Hachu, things might have been different. That's true. Why is Yuta the only one who doesn't look upset? Oh, because they're all mad at Yuta. They told me they weren't coming. I told you it was a long story. And yet they came. Easy now. Otsuku's senpai's cursed tools let me hide my fingers, you know. That could have been done with gloves. Go to Home Depot. LOL. Otsuku senpai hindered Sukuna once he opened his domain a second time, you know. Like I'm saying, it could have ended before all that even happened. ... I thought being on standby inside of Rika was pretty helpful. We didn't skip a beat jumping Sukuna after Gojo-san's defeat, and we got Urume away from the get-go. That was all Otsuku. Oh shit, they did all of that watching inside of Rika? What the hell? That's kind of weird. There's a lot I'm responsible for too. Working with Miss Mai had prepared us for Sukuna's domain, yet I couldn't save Choso nor my brother. Weren't they just out of range? It was more of an issue of Sukuna's immense cursed energy. It was too thick in the eye of his domain. I wasn't able to distinguish their cursed energy. I was in the eye too. You was able to whisk me out, so I'm also to blame. It should have been Choso, not me. I would have died if that had happened. It's no one's fault. I'm not trying to blame you two either. I mean, I got hit with 2 black flashes, but he... never mind. Huh? I was in cold sweats, acting as Maki-san's marker in anti-domain strategy. Heck, even as a reserve, I was worried it would only save me. I told you not to get involved in this fight. I didn't do anything. You would have just objected anyway if I told you. I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to do anything. What do you mean? Your broom was most comfortable. You really didn't do shit. We're talking about all the people who didn't do shit. My mic did nothing. I mean, she she did not shit. Yuji was the one teleporting people. I don't know what she did this entire raid. I wanted to help against Sukuna after taking care of Urame, but they were crazy strong. I was still asleep until the very end, so well, everyone seems you have your regrets, but I suppose could anyone deny that I was the MVP? You got good points. You left me behind mid-fight. Well, you're heavy. Damn. He said you need to get to the gym. You need to lose some weight. Big body bit. Anyway, while you were out busting your hump, Big Sis was kicking back, relaxing. That's what I was saying. Like, she did nothing. My beloved big sister worked herself to the bone with the new shadow issue. Now, that's a convenient excuse. I won't deny a thing. My life is priceless after all. There's no... Honestly, fuck this bitch. By new shadow, you mean dealing with a binding vow that forbade a symbol domain from being taught to others? Or to outsiders? Precisely. The inherited binding vow of the school's principal domain. The original creator, Ashiya Sadasuna, created a binding vow with the intention of symbol domain being inaccessible to curse users. Well, as the generations rolled by, the new shadow style was no longer of public interest, and the symbol domain technique had become a trade secret. The essentially monopolized techniques invite disciples, then have to undergo unnecessary binding vows. The new shadow style is a cornerstone for sorcerers without techniques after all. Todo, who learned it from Tsukumo, who learned it like Mekamaru did. So what's tricky about this binding vow is that stopping it from others from being taught, well, that's only one part of it. We also can't refuse the head of the school as if they ask us to mobilize. Then there's the especially troublesome bit, their lifespan. It's closer to a curse than a technique or binding vow. It's unconfirmable, but apparently the head of the school has absorbs the user's lifespan. Huh? Their lifespans? Apparently? No one knows who the head of the school is, which is why there's no way to tell if the lifespan contract exists or how it functions. After all, there are grandpas and hags that live long lives even after using it. When the head dies, the school's best disciple succeeds them. However, only they are made aware of it, which means we have no way of sussing that out. Only the head of their school can render the binding vows null. As far as I know, there's no one among the best students of the school that knows anything about the head. You mean there wasn't anyone? I'm the new head of the shadow school now. What? A simple domain's binding vow and all that lifespan stuff isn't an issue anymore. Be sure to leave some of the benefits. When you become the head someday, you can collect a nice fat monthly tuition fee from all your disciples. Huh? I just don't want to read anything that involves those two. Like, I don't like them at all. Yu's okay, but she sucks, and their dynamic together fucking sucks. I don't like them at all. This stream was brought to you by Celsius. The energy drink people say is extremely bad for you, but I love and tastes really good and gives you a lot of energy. So drink you a Celsius. Do your own research, and then get you a Celsius. It's time for Jujutsu Sorcery to follow suit and enter an era of subscriptions. A price, you ask, for your life. How'd you know I was here? That I'm the head. Huh. I asked somebody with the proper information. No one should have such information. Gathering disciples until your power rivaled that of the big three families. You wanted to take over the Jujutsu world, including ousting those higher ups, didn't you? ... Tengen. You would have needed years of draining your disciples' lifespans. Was there something you wanted to see wasn't there? Aspirations like these seem almost priceless, and now, with the Zenin clan annihilated, we stand on the cusp of decisive battle, wherein both the Kamo and Gojo clans could face destruction. But you know, there are things even more important than money. Can't be protected without the proper funds. There were sorcerers whose lives would have been saved if you hadn't monopolized a simple domain. And more than anything, you were trying to turn my dear little brother into damaged goods. That alone made this an inevitability. You pay the price with your life. Only 2 chapters remain. So a lot of yap this chapter. An insane amount of yap this chapter. I don't know how... I mean, anything cool in this chapter? Too much Mei and Yu. Yuta coming back is cool, I guess. The explanation was meh. Hiruma being alive is meh. I feel like if Yuta and Hiruma died, it would have been a lot more substance on Sukuna's ability. Everybody just talking about how the fight went, who's to blame for what. Solid chapter.